Hi there, I want to talk a little bit today about a feature within Premiere called Burn in Timecode window. We talked about this in class. I didn't have time to show it to you then, but I promised you a podcast about that. I have a piece of footage here that I'm going to put in my timeline, kind of low res footage that I shot with an older camera called a flip cam, a little portable camera about the size of an iPod. And this is a picture of Phil, my pheasant that comes and eats out of my feeder or on the ground during the wintertime. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clear the in and out points that I have here. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to clear out any ins and outs. So this is the raw footage. So what we're going to do here is I want to make it so someone can pick a portion of this footage to use specifically in an edit. So if they're going to review the footage, and then they can tell me exactly what parts they want to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this footage down in the timeline, and I'll move my playback head here back to the beginning. Now what I'm going to do is I want you to go over to the effects panel in Premiere, and I want you to go into this little area where you can search for things. I'm going to have you type in time code. And here you'll see under video there is time code. So I'm going to drag this effect on top of the clip. And what I'm going to see here is when this clip plays, I'm going to be able to see the time code here on the monitor. Now I'm going to double click on this in the timeline. I'm going to come up in the effects tab because I want to control this time code, the way it looks. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to size it up a little bit. I'm going to drag the size up here a little bit. I'm going to position it. I'm just scrubbing on the XY positions here over in the effects panel. I'm going to turn off this field symbol. It tells me if it's on an odd or even frame. Probably not, or an odd and even field. It's probably not important to you at this point what that is. Down here I'm going to use the format for SMPTE, or Society of Motion Pictures and Television Engineers. That's what I want to use for my time code. I'm not working with film or the specific frames. And the source of the time code, now this is really important. Media is going to go back to the original time code that was put on the video by the camera. Clip is going to be the time code that's reading off the specific portions that I've picked to use of this media. Now what we want to do is I want to give somebody a video with the original time code on there of the media so they can say use this part of the clip. So I'm going to pick media. Now I'm going to come down here where it says display. I need to know what is the original frame rate of the video itself. Now I'm going to check that by going over here into the bin area, and I'm going to click on the clip, and I'm going to right click, and I'm going to come up to properties. And in properties here it's going to tell me the frame rate for this video, and you can see here the frame rate is 30 frames per second. So you need to check that so you know what the frame rate is, so when you come back over here in the effects control tab you can pick the time display to match your video. Now this happens to already know that it's 30 frames non-drop frame. So this is all set, but you want to double check that to match your video. So basically what I have here now is a time code window showing me the frames of this video. So at this point in time I could just export out this clip and give it to somebody so they could review it. They could say watch this clip, watch the clip of Phil, tell me what parts of this you want me to use. They can write down the time code numbers, give that to me, and then I can come back, precisely pick the frames that they want me to use in the clip. So again, once this is applied, the time code effect, we're basically going up here and we can position it, we can change its size. I'm going to make sure it's on empty. I'm going to make sure it's on media because that's the original video time code that the camera put on there. I put down 30 non-drop frame because that's what the properties of the clip were. And also I'm coming down here where it says label text. I'm going to turn on automatic. And let me move this back over here a little bit. There we go. And what this MDA stands for is media, or the original media. So I know this is the original media time code. So that's important. I'm going to put that on there. Now I'm going to go up under the File menu. I'm going to pick Export, and I'm going to pick Export of Media. Now what I'm going to do here is I don't really want to send out a full version of this. It would be just such a huge file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on Q to add this video to my Adobe Media Encoder. Now it's going to take a second for Media Encoder to come up. It's just going to put that reference to that file or this sequence into the media encoder so I can pick a different size and different quality. So I'm not so concerned about the quality being reduced. In fact, I want to bring the quality down so it brings the size down so I can give this to somebody. So I'm going to bring over here my media encoder that came up on my other screen. I have this clip picked, and what I'll do is I'll come over here under the system presets and I'm going to come down to YouTube, and I'm going to pick just a little bit smaller version of this so it doesn't take up so much room. 720 in height, 2997, and I'm going to double click on that, and now that's added to my rendering queue over here. Now I'm going to delete the one it came in with. Now, as the little warning says, this doesn't hurt the video. It's just not going to render out this specified output file type. So I'm going to click yes. And now I really have just the one I wanted to do. So now I just click on the green arrow, and it's going to go through the process of rendering this out. Now that file is finished rendering, let's take a look at it on the desktop. I'm going to go up and I'm going to quit out of my media encoder. I'm going to hide Premiere Pro, and I'm going to go to my desktop, and over here I have my file, and I'm going to double click on it. And this is going to open up, I'm on a Mac, it's going to open up in the QuickTime Player, and it's going to be able to show me the video with this time code burned into it. Again, the purpose of this is so that someone who's reviewing this, they can write down these time code numbers on the segments that they want to use, and then they can give that list to me, and I can pull out the specific video on a frame accurate basis to use in the project.